What's going on, internet? It is your boy Eric Bandholz back again with another awesome episode from Beardbrand. With all the news going on, I thought it was appropriate to talk about how to overcome being a victim. So, it really sucks that I have to make this video. But on the other hand, I think it's something that's existed for people for all time. And you look at what individuals had to deal with and compare them to other people. Like, for instance, a soldier goes to war, comes back home, missing limbs, goes on to succeed and find joy in his life. Whereas another person, maybe they're the last person picked on the playground one day, and they've held that with them throughout the rest of their life, never being able to live up to their full potential. And I want to talk about what are the differences and how you can overcome being a victim and move on to the next stage to really keep on growing as an individual. Now, we've all been victims at some point in our lives. And you can be a victim in probably, I'd say, like 3 different ways. One is a victim by other people imposing themselves against you. The second way is going to be by circumstances of chance or genetics, or you get cancer, all those things that are really outside your control but also outside the control of everyone else. And the third way, and probably might possibly be the hardest way to overcome, is you're a victim of yourself and your own thoughts, and looking back on the person that you used to be and holding that within, and preventing yourself to become the person that you can be. Now, when we run into a moment where we become a victim, we go into what I call a victim mode. And this victim mode is a coping mechanism for us to be able to handle the stresses that we're dealing with in that moment. And victim mode is something that I don't want to say you should avoid, right? I think that part of being human is going through that mode. It allows you to have that short burst of defense to get you through that moment so that you can persevere after that. But the key is that we try to keep that victim mode as close to that moment as possible and not let it linger on for entirety or for years or for months. And the reason is victim mode is a very limiting type of mindset. It's something that's going to put ownership on other people rather than you. So you no longer have control in your life. It's going to lead to entitlement thinking. Because you're always the victim, then you're entitled to other things. And again, once you have that entitlement mindset, you're taking control away from you and you're giving it back to other people. And then once the control's out of your hands, then you just perpetuate being a victim. It also will have you feeling selfless and worthless, depressed, and really not in a positive mindset, not having confidence, not really thriving and growing as an individual. So that victim mode is a dangerous place to be in. It's a necessary place at times, but dangerous. Now, the thing I want to harp on most about in this video is time is always changing. And you are a victim in a moment. But what we don't want to have is you being a victim in a moment and then a lifetime of being in victim mode. So what we want to do is shorten the moment that you are as a victim, and then that moment you were in victim mode. And then you've got that life of return to normalcy and return to becoming a better person and becoming the person who you really are deep down inside. And the reason I like to really call out the time element of it is because let's say someone did something to you and that action happened here, right, at this point in your life. Well, the longer you keep the victim mode going, boom, the longer that individual has affected your life, the longer that person has had power over you, they've had control over you. So rather than them just doing something here and you moving on from it, they've now affected this chunk of your life. And you only have 50 or 70 years left on this earth. You've got to make sure that all those years are as healthy and productive that you can have them. Now, one of the biggest elements, I think, of overcoming your victim mode is forgiveness. Now, forgiveness is not at all for the person you're forgiving, for the individual you're forgiving, or for the chance you're forgiving, or whatever the situation. It's more of coming to terms and accepting what happened has happened, and that moment is and has been and always will be part of your life, but it's a moment that you can use to build off of. Now, by giving forgiveness, then what you're doing is you're taking back that control. That control's coming in you, because no longer does that other individual or that other event or yourself have control over what you're doing today. You have it, because you're the one who said, I forgive you. I'm moving on from this. I'm getting my life in order. And the more we talk about time, I want you to focus on the present, because, again, going back, in the past, you were a victim for a moment. But in the present, right now, as you watch this video, nothing's happening to you. You're in a good spot. Things are good. You're overcoming it. You have something to look back onto and learn, and it may have been pretty shitty, but you still have it, and you can still use what you've learned to prevent the future, prevent you from going through that again. So you use what happened here, and then all of a sudden, it's gone, because you're learning from that. And then in the moment of the present, you're not a victim. I mean, look at yourself. Are you a victim? What's going on right now to you as you watch this video that says you're a victim? And stop and take the moment to realize, whenever you are feeling like you're entering victim mode, is what's going on in my life right now? Am I a victim? And 99.9999% of the time, it's going to be no. You're going to be in control of your actions. You're going to be in control of what you can do, and you're going to be able to put yourself in a better spot. See, you are a strong person, because that moment you were a victim, it's over. You've beaten it. You've done it. You've gotten through it. It's over. It's done. You figured out a way to get through it. You've survived that moment. And I want you to celebrate that. I want you to celebrate it and not linger on it. You have overcome it, and you are on your pathway to having a clear, free, controlled life. Now, it's not to say that things aren't going to happen in the future. They are. You are going to run into instances in the future that you feel like you're out of control or you're becoming a victim. And one of the ways that I would say to help you with this is try to prepare yourself for these moments. Try to think ahead of what would it be like if one of my parents died, or if my spouse died, or I know that some of these are like grim thoughts, but these are activities that are going to happen. I mean, everyone dies. It's just a matter of when, and hopefully if you take care of yourself, you're going to live a long time, and you are going to see those things, unfortunately. Or even like on the sad side, like what if I am in a dark alley and I get robbed? Like, how am I going to handle that? How am I going to walk through it? How am I going to prepare myself for it? And then when, let's say you never get to that moment, great. But if you do ever end up in that moment, then you're prepared for it, and you've shortened that moment that you're in victim mode, and then you're able to persevere and really become the person that you've got the potential to become. So I hope there's a few takeaways in there for you guys out there who are dealing with stuff, who are fighting through the things that have happened to them, and want to become better people and want to work through these things. I believe that you can do it. I know you can do it, and you have done it. As always, thanks for watching. Cheers, and keep on growing. Beardbrand is a premium men's grooming company with products not only for your beard, but also your hair and body. do yourself a favor and head over to beardbrand.com and take care of yourself. Or you can stick around and watch a few more of our awesome videos.